you're going to get critters thrown on you, but it's the smell.
Right.
The smell of the cockroach is absolutely disgusting.
We have got one of the Radio X OGs himself, Mr. Vernon Kay.
Yeah, Vern.
Morning, Vern.
We're up, family.
Yeah. So talk to me about this period now. So we've not spoken to Chris since last Monday. We all spoke to him on WhatsApp before he got on the plane to Australia. And then that was it. He's in this proper isolation right now. So talk about this period right now.
Right, so from my experience, I was in a beautiful farmhouse in Anglesey in North Wales, and I was on my own, but because I'm a celebrity, it's a huge TV production. You can't really get your head around how big it is. It's absolutely massive. There's someone to do absolutely everything. So I had a nurse come round and do my COVID test because it was during the pandemic. I had someone come and deliver me food, my drink, if I wanted some booze. Jordan North, I think he had 2 deliveries, 3 days apart, of whiskey, Guinness, gin and lager. Because poor Jordan North, he was in a terrace house with a load of builders working on the house next door, so he couldn't even go out in his garden because they'd see him. Whereas I was doing runs every day. I was out with the Royal Marine Security Guard that was looking after us. We were larking around doing some fitness. I took my golf clubs, so the farmer who owned the house and the farm where the house was, I was whacking golf balls into the farmer's field. I was having the time of my life. So hopefully Chris is having exactly the same experience, because I think they're only isolating for about a week. But what you can't get your head around is you think that the show starts on Sunday, but it doesn't. They actually drag you out on Friday, and that's when they start filming. So it comes to you as a little bit of a shock. You're like, whoa, hang on a minute. I've got another day, 24 hours on the Xbox.
I'm just working on my pitching wedge.
Yeah, leave it out. And it was so funny. I read somewhere about Chris's demands. He wanted a cycling, a kind of a peloton type thing to get fit. And they're like, he got battered because of his demands. I'm like, demands? You kidding me? I had a full-on gym. I had absolute 5G Wi-Fi. I had steak, fish. I had the best food ever. And they're like, he got absolutely battered for wanting a cycling machine. That's right. I had a squat rack. I had a cycling machine and a rowing machine. I had 400 kgs of weights. I had dumbbells, barbells, everything. I had an Xbox. I had a TiVo. I mean, you name it. Brilliant. I went all in, because if you're spending 2 weeks on your own, I'm just going to be like Forrest Gump. I'm going to start running and never come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just needed stuff to do to fill my time. And obviously, those precious phone calls that you have on FaceTime with the family are so important, because those are the ones that really matter to you before you go and get your lips around the sheets, Willie.
How do you reckon he's going to get on? Because I hear you talking about the trials and stuff, but Vernon, you're a much more blokey bloke than Chris Moyles.
Well, it's quite funny, really, because let's not forget, he built a career on being a shock jock, on being a lad, you know, and beer and lager and all that kind of thing. But actually, he's not.
No,
he's not. He's like the sweetest bloke ever.
Yeah.
And I think what he's going to have to do is just the most important thing, and the best piece of advice that we got was from Shane Ritchie. And when we jumped off the edge of that cliff, Shane Ritchie, who is a god, by the way, I can tell you that. And I'm saying that because he's listening now on the set.
Morning, Shane. Morning, Shane.
Yeah, right, big dog. He gathered us around in a huddle before we went to get changed into our camp gear. And he said, listen, if anyone's got a plan, if anyone's got any ideas of being someone that they're not, if you want to be or create something on this TV show in the next 3 weeks, don't. Because you'll get found out and it won't be a true representation of yourself and you'll actually look quite foolish. So I said to Chris, just go in there and be yourself. Just play you versus the jungle. Instead of you going in there and trying to take the jungle on your shoulders, just you let the jungle come to you and you face everything that they give you and just enjoy it. I mean, Pippa, you've been a massive fan of I'm a Celeb for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
And you know more than anyone. It's all about the casting. It's all about the people in there. I think we're in for a treat with this casting because there's a few people in there who could get quite fiery.
Talk to me about this story about you all singing Disney songs.
Well, yeah, the key is it was Rolling Stones and the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
So because those songs for the production company for ITV to play them out on air, it's very, very expensive. And I don't think they're what you call cleared. I don't think you get permission to air Beatles or Rolling Stones songs.
Right.
So whenever we had kind of an in-depth or what could possibly be deemed as a controversial conversation, one of us, once again started by Shane Ritchie, would sing Hey Jude.
So you were chained to a bed and had castle critters poured over you. That, I mean, to be honest, you know, that's just another Tuesday night for Vernon Kay, isn't it? That's just another day.
You know what?
Another day in the life.
I was a student had that happened. Yeah, that was disgusting because it's you know you're going to get critters thrown on you, but it's the smell.
Right.
The smell of the cockroach is absolutely disgusting.
And what was the worst one? Because you did the eating challenge as well.
Yeah, eating challenge wasn't too bad. I had a sheep's brain, I had cow's nipples.
I remember watching that one. That was disgusting.
Testicles.
That was absolutely disgusting.
The nipples were aesthetically unpleasing.
Oh, they were
weren't
horrible.
Yeah, they were.
But when you put everything in your mouth, the texture of it is. Remember when you were at school and you used to bite the end of your school pencil, the HB5?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it had that pink rubber on the end.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it would burst.
It was exactly the same as that. But when I ate my first deer's testicle, it popped and it went all over my face. I know. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to look like a wedding cake here. Because you put 2 and 2 together and get 5. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, a deer's testicle serves a purpose.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Oh.
Official, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I think on the radio we could use biological terms. We won't get into trouble.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, you know, a testicle holds the semen for a male deer so that it can fertilise the female deer once they have intercourse, and then they have a baby, hence the birds and the bees.
Wow.
So I bit into this testicle, and it went
Bambi.
all over my face.
Right.
Right. So I thought I was covered in baby Bambi. And I'm like, as soon as that vision went into my head, I am absolutely yakking all over the place. And Ant and Dec are crying, laughing.
Vernon, mate, so good to see you. We'll get you in the studio live at some point.
Brilliant. Cheers, gang. Lots
Top
of
man.
love.
Cheers, man. Cheers, mate.
Bye, lovely.
The Chris Moyles Show.